Here in the booth, Dustin Jarrett with me. We got a spinner over in turn number 4 and turn number 2, and it's now a party DJ. Well, last night we kicked things off 156 cars in the pit area. Today we got a few scratches. We got a few new additions. 154 overall, though, as we get things going. 48 super late models. We got 50 of the A mods, and we have 50, I think 6 last count of the X mods. So fantastic turnout, as we're going to see who's going to keep the dream alive for some bonuses and look for some great racing.
We've got 5 heat races set by pill draw for the X mods. We've got 5 heat races set by pill draw for the modifieds. Late models are going to come out and hot lap qualify here just a little bit. And just as we went live, that first session of X mod hot lap started as well, Ben, as we roll out this second wave of hot laps for the X mods. Jimmy Ray, who broke last night in the feature while running second, he was the quickest driver in that first wave of dirt draft hot laps with a 1:8.945. Speaking of dirt draft, we'll show the leaderboard a little later on.
You're not on there.
Well,
you are on there.
Put me, they put me on. My play was not as good as the Dolphins' play.
Because they swam into the playoffs. Go ahead
that was the headline. I was trying to work it in. The headline on the TV in front of us, Dolphins swim into playoffs.
You, Max Blair, and Matt Cosner are the only 3 Dolphins fans in the world.
There's actually another, Josh Peterman, Kyle Larson's agent, is a big Finns fan. Yeah.
Well, you see on your screen, I don't think he's going to be a Finns fan. That's the 82 car of Sherman Barnett rolling off into turn number 1. We're going to say no. Out of El Paso, Texas, the Barnett Harley-Davidson number 82. Also in this set, we'll have car number 14Z of Zachary Page out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and that Baxter-built race car, the fluorescent pink one, rolling out of 2. Meanwhile, heading into turn number 1, you see the yellow car right there on your screen, the 7C. It's John Carney out of El Paso, Texas. Had a fast hot ride here last night. We'll see if he can back it up here tonight. Behind him, it looks like we're going to have the 24. Looks like he's out there of...
No, that's
like
low.
It's like low, not picking up on the transponder, though. Dakota Lowe out of Pleasanton, Kansas. The Allen Auto Sports Race Cars number 24.
Sal Gomez behind him in the 3S car. Devin Jobin behind him in the 81.
Yeah, what about the run for
last
the guy
night's
behind
hard charger? Yeah, Jesse Haney in that X15 at the end of the back straightaway from 17th to 3rd in last night's A main. He'll be followed out by the 44 JT of Jaime Torres. A couple other drivers on the track. I believe that's Mike Striegel on the back straightaway in the 17, and Adrian, Missouri's Kenny McDonald Jr. in the 25. And problems already for Jesse Haney in the X15 as he makes a quick exit into the infield. So again, this is the second wave of dirt draft hot laps on the Speedway for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Barnett Harley Davidson. Hot laps don't mean anything for these drivers, as again they drew hills a little earlier on to determine their starting spots in one of tonight's 5 heat races. In both the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Barnett Harley Davidson and the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds, the top 16 in passing points will lock into their respective A mains here tonight in the late model division. Again, they're going to hot lap, they'll qualify, or they will hot lap qualify rather. That'll set the stage for their 4 heat races, and then in those 4 heat races for the late models only, we'll take the top 4 and transfer them into the main event.
Well, another wave of hot laps in the books. Jimmy Ray, still the fastest car we've seen so far here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. John Carney, fastest in that set in the 7C. Right now in the low 19s, around 18-second bracket, are the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Barnett Harley Davidson. Next wave of cars rolling out to the Speedway. And they'll be let out by the 14J. First time we've seen him this week. That'll be Jake Hodges out of Lebo, Kansas. The Yeoman Racing Engine Rage race car. The Hodges Brothers Racing entry. And behind him, that'll be Andrew Hodges in the 21A.
All the Hodges.
Yeah. He's in a GRT. The Yeoman Racing Engine. Hodges Brothers Racing. Murphy Agra and Flint Hills Towing number 21. Car number 28, that'll be Aiden Frazier. Aiden had a rough go of it last night. We'll see if he has better luck tonight in car 28A. Also making his way out to the Speedway, Preston Carr, the Carrington, North Dakota driver. 1 win a year ago in that Millennium chassis. We'll also see in this set, Dalton Ragsdale in car 22 down the back straightaway, Asa Flores in the 05, and a few others on the Speedway, the 34G of Billy Gordon, along with Greg Gorham in the 93, the 111 of Dickie Gorham, and Reese Solander, as they'll have 2 5s out there. He's the black and red number 5. We're going to turn this TV off if you're going to keep looking at your Dolphins highlights. It's kind of disgusting. If
Tua
you really
comes back next week, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it can make a run. They're streaky. They're very streaky. There was a.
Does he know he's coming back next week? Does he know where he's at? Does he know?
I bet he's wearing aqua. I bet he's wearing aqua. He probably doesn't have an aqua flow shirt like I want.
Man, I like Tua. He's had a rough year. Hopefully he can get the bad luck behind him. As right now, this racetrack, we're starting to get it ironed in. We're getting some fast laps. The slow laps are getting behind us here today. As Jimmy Ray early on, fastest time, a few rooster tails. Feels like being back at the ditch in West Memphis, Arkansas, Riverside Speedway. The rooster tails and hot laps, as they added a little bit more juice to her today. Day. Gorgeous day in the desert.
Oh man, it was so nice today.
Yesterday wasn't bad, but there was a wind. Today, it is just absolutely gorgeous out there.
I don't know. It's so wild, right? I was on the phone earlier today and. Checked in, it was 48 degrees or whatever is what they said it was outside.
We just keep getting food brought up here.
All kinds of treats.
We've already had Craig Alberson along with Kathy Alberson. They brought us brownies. Julian, what did you just bring to the booth, my friend?
Oh my goodness! Julian brought us some. Are they from your restaurant, Julian? Yes. Brought us taco. Oh my, authentic tacos
from La Posta, right, Julian? Let's go.
Oh, that is great. Oh, my goodness.
Well, we're not going to go hungry tonight, my friend.
Danny Givens has got some cookies back there for us as well from the Chunky Poodles.
Well, I'm going to be the Chunky Ben by the time this week's over.
We're both going to be Chunky Poodles when this is over. Next wave of hot laps for the Shocker Hitch X Mods, presented by Barnett Harley Davidson, making their way on the speedway at the end of the backstretch, is going to be the 28. That is Andy Bryant. Following him is the 79, a guy that was on the move last night. That's Alan Owen Jr. He'll be followed out by the 5W of Derek Watson. Peyton Gallardo in the 17, the 27. I believe the first time he's run with us this week. It's Andy Davis on the front straightaway. The 666. Tonight we've got the 666 registered as Fito Gallardo. Is that right, Ben?
I mean, that's what it says.
That's what it says.
Are you going to argue with Fito?
I am not arguing with Fito.
Never argue with a man named Fito.
No, that is the truth.
He will put you on the ground, though. Don't argue with Fito. As Fito last night, of course, we saw Jake in the A-Mods last night. Also Fito. We'll see if Fito's pulling double duty here tonight. Is that 17 car? You never know who's going to be in it. It could be anybody from the family. It could be somebody from somewhere else. That's kind of like the community car. They share it.
I like it.
You never know who's going to be in it each night. You see Fito in that car.
No, that's Peyton in the 17. Fito's in the 666.
Oh, the 666. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. He's in the 666. Yes. Peyton's back in the 17. We had the G3 here last year with that team.
We did have the G3. That was the community car last year. Yes, it was.
They let everybody but you and I drive it.
Probably a good decision on their part as well. Andy Bryant goes to the top of the leaderboard with a good lap of 1.8489.
He was second last night here, and tonight he's going to try to go one position better. We're going to shift over to the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods, presented by Rancho Milagro. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know if we'd see Terry Tipton tonight because he had heavy damage on that race car, but he's back in the 99 out of Duncan, Arizona, rolling off into turn number 1.
Rick Ortega following him out in the 24.
That's right. Casey Fowler in the 64 out of Grand Saline, Texas, that MB Customs race car.
Carlos Amata in the 54 behind him. They'll be followed out by Travis Tipton in the 30. Yes,
we got both Tiptons in this set. Yeah,
all the Tiptons.
Travis Tipton out of Duncan, Arizona, in car number 30.
Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas in the 20.
Boy, they got their work cut out for him. Last night, Jake O'Neill brought his A game. We'll see who can get the win here tonight. Car number 87 rolling through the corner down there. And that'll be Josh McGay and Josh Peter. Come on. Josh, get Larson fired up for tonight. We don't need Larson's agent texting us all about the Dolphins. The 87 car of Josh McGay out there on the speedway. Who else have we got in this set? Down the middle of the back straightaway, Lance Murray. Lance had a fast race car last night out of Imperial, California, the 19 SB. And behind him, that'll be car number 28. Or will it be?
Fooled you.
We know we got the 73 out there. Great looking race car of Levi DiMartino out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the MB Customs race car.
Is that Tom George's in that 28?
I think that might, I don't know. I don't think that is the Good Doctor.
No, it's not. His is the red and black one. That's the 28.
That's Cheatham. Yeah.
Yep. Levi DiMartino in the 73.
And the 12 of John Webb out of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, rolling off into turn at number 1. So the first wave of Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods, presented by Rancho Milagro. We're both spun out with all the Mexican food that got brought in the booth. I am fired up tonight. DJ, my favorite kind of Mexican food is Mexican food. I've never met Mexican food that I don't like. And Julian was already my favorite scoreboard operator.
That's right. That's exactly
he's taking
right.
it to another level. Hey, have you got a T-shirt down there yet from Bulletproof Inc.?
I have not. I need to get one, man.
Check out the Race Chick booth down there. Get the Wild West Shootout merchandise if you're on site. A little bit later, we're going to throw a graphic up where you can buy online if you're not in the house. Great looking stuff. I know they sold a bunch of stuff last night. And everybody coming in today, we appreciate you back for the second round, the 17th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts here at FK Ride-In's Vado Speedway Park. Rolling the racetrack in. Trenton Berry, you're down in the infield, my friend. What a gorgeous Chamber of Commerce day we have.
Oh my goodness, guys! It couldn't be better. It's already quite a bit warmer right here at this point in the day than it was yesterday. So really looking forward to a great night. The spirits seem to be high in the midst of the track. It's awesome.
It is a beautiful day as the cars came in and trumped out Trenton, but Trenton's got some good nuggets. He's been through the pit area talking to guys, working some stuff. Did an amazing job with some of those interviews last night. I'm glad to have Trenton Berry back with us after being a little under the weather during the Dome. DJ, have you lost something, my friend?
I lost my timing.
There we go.
For just a second, yeah, which I need to pay attention to here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps because
you're
I'm just gonna be honest,
8,000th.
I sucked in the modifieds last night. I mean, I completely missed.
You know
I'm like 808.
You know what I love? You don't sugarcoat it. You just lay it out there. I could have been better, and I was not.
So I was the opposite of Rodney Sanders. I talked to Rodney here night before last after practice, and I said, how were you? He said, we were great in the modified. He said, we sucked in the late model. I was the opposite. I was decent in the late models. I sucked in the modifieds.
Well, hey, you look good in that set of modifieds. Rodney Sanders fastest time, 17.689.
Terry Tipton a good lap.
Yeah, Terry Tipton out there. As we said, Magay, Ortega, Fowler, Amata Sr., Webb, Leatham Jr., Mari, Tipton, and DiMartino have all been out so far in hot laps. As the next wave, Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro make their way out. And gorgeous race car, the number 65 of Tyler Davis.
265s.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yep, the 65. Yeah, both 65s look great. The first one, the number 65 of Tyler Davis, 26-time winner last year, the USRA National Champion in 2022. And behind him, who's in that 65, DJ?
Carlos Amata Jr. in the white and red 65, the next driver out on the speedway. And they'll be followed out by another good-looking race car, TJ Tolan in the 99T.
Yeah, the Kansas racer making his first trip to the desert for the Wild West Shootout. Glad to have him here. Car number 87, that'll be Darren Fuqua out of Mayetta, Kansas. 3 wins a year ago for that competitor. And behind him, another Kansas driver, first time to the desert, Lewis Jackson out of Edgerton, Kansas in car 3.
They'll be followed out by the Chowchilla, California driver, downtown Randy Brown in the number 16B. Behind him, making his way into number 1, last night's runner-up in a borrowed power plant is going to be Tanner Mullins in the hot pink 02. He'll be followed by last night's winner, Ben.
That's right, Jake O'Neill. He's in the driver's seat trying to get to the Weir's Machine 5 or more bonus. He's already got 1 off the board. He's just got to get 4 more, and he's in that 0. The LG2 by Owens Cornette Ford entry. And behind him in this set will be car number 10. That'll be Mike Goodson, the Oklahoma driver out of Ardmore in the Lethal Chassis Big E Motorsports 10G. So again, everybody getting these hot rods dialed in today. We'll have hot laps here for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro. And then we'll get ready for Sport Truck RV Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. It's hot lap qualifying for those drivers. 48 today, so that means we will have 4 heat races once again, A and B, Group A and B. And that's how they'll determine their lineups, by the way that they qualify here on this beautiful afternoon. And Vado, New Mexico, right off I-10. Did we even say right off I-10? Adjacent to I-10. Here
It is right off I-10
Cruces.
too, yeah. It's adjacent and right off I-10.
20
It's
feet
both.
off I-10. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is funny. You see the big rigs coming down the interstate, and you can tell the guys that are race fans because they slow down, pull over on the shoulder, and they watch for a minute.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Look, let's not sugarcoat it. You and I would do the same thing as well.
we wouldn't be in a big rig because we're not capable of driving one, but we do pull over in the vehicle that we're in and check things out.
Yes.
All right, well, we got the C&D bonding green flag on the speedway as we're back underway, and she's definitely got a little bit more juice to her today, DJ. I think she could have a little, as I like to say, character. Other people say a little chop as, hey, man, we're starting in the afternoon. You got to juice her up and get her ready to go.
Well, and it's like you and I talked on race day on FloRacing and Dirt on Dirt earlier that, the track prep is just like setting up a race car, man. I mean, you gotta tinker with things, you got to tweak things, and let's just call it what it is. There's nobody in the history of baseball has batted 1,000. Nobody's batted 500 even. So to go out and try to prep a racetrack and get it on point every single night, it's almost an unrealistic expectation. But the guys that are here doing it, Chad Bowman and Lewis Breed and that whole crew, I would put those guys up against anybody in the entire country in terms of what they do. And they got good heads on their shoulders. They know the dirt. They know exactly what they need to do to get this thing right, man. And look, we saw some pretty good stuff last night, that late model feature. Late race pass by Jonathan Davenport on Bobby Pierce. Things got real dicey when those guys were in lap traffic. Looking for more of the same here tonight.
Well, we'll see what can happen as the 2021 USMTS National Champion Derek Ramirez out of Woodward, Oklahoma comes out, and the SS Fishing and Rails Hughes race car. And the guy behind him looking for much better luck today, DJ, in the 71.
Yeah, it's going to be Dustin Strain out of Grand Forks, North Dakota. Very, very hard hit into the outside wall. He and a couple other cars collect up in an accident in the heat race last night. Good to see him back in that Millennium chassis, number 71. He'll be followed out by the Glendon, Minnesota driver, Joseph Thomas, in the number 6.
Behind him in car 747, that'll be Colton Eck out of Goddard, Kansas, the Matt Eck Real Estate GRT. And rolling out of turn number 4 in car number 88, Nathan Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico, in the Vado Group Mullins-powered MB Custom chassis for Nathan Smith.
Also on the speedway is one of our 14s. That'll be Tom Bean, Texas driver Josh Landers. He'll be followed out by G. Nichols in the 11. The 10 of Wichita, Kansas native Brandon Givens, and that chunky Poodle Cookie Company number 10.
And Gary Christian rolling through turns 1 and 2 in that new CDR race car, Mullins power under the hood, a cyclopropane car 58X.
Jake Bowles.
Yeah, yes, sir. The Alamogordo driver, Jake Bowles, in the J7. As man, I love it. I mean, obviously this is the third day we've seen a lot of these drivers, but when they get out on the speedway, you realize how many different drivers from different disciplines are here, different sanctions. A lot of fun. We hope you enjoy yourself watching, whether you're here in the grandstands or at FloRacing. If you're watching on FloRacing, hashtag tweet your Flow seat. We're going to try to get some of those on the broadcast later. Tweet us a picture of where you're watching from. If you're on the facility, tweet us where you're watching from. Hashtag tweet your Flow seat.
I'm going to do that right now.
You do that right now. Dustin Jarrett's at Dustin Jarrett on Twitter. I am at MSR Mafia. We had some interesting viewer pictures last night.
Yes, we did.
I think we had Bigfoot watching at one point. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. This is where we're watching. All right.
All right. I can't wait. Hashtag. Oh, my. I almost dropped the phone.
All right, well, Kelly Carlton says, turn out that Midwest sheet metal yellow light. Let's turn on the C&D bonding green light. Let's get the next wave of dirt draft hot laps underway for these Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire mods presented by Rancho Milagro here at FK Ride-In's Vado Speedway Park. Round 2 today. We're going to be off tomorrow. Tuesday, we'll have an open practice session. That will not be on FloRacing. We'll come back Wednesday. That will be on FloRacing. We'll go live 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. That's 5:30 Central. Same on Friday. And then we race next Saturday and Sunday. 6 rounds of action. And after today, there's still 4 more to go. So if you can make your way over, we'd love to have you here and check out all the action with us in person at Royal Jones. Absolutely amazing racetrack that he has built here between Las Cruces and El Paso on I-10 here in the Southwest. Looking at the times in this set, and Derek Ramirez to the top of the speed charts, and DJ, he is right at half a second better than anybody, the only driver into the 16-second bracket. Play that again. Yeah, the 16-second, 16.891.
That could be trouble for the competition if he stays that fast.
He won a feature here last year. He flirted with other wins, and we'll see what he can do tonight. But Trenton Berry, how about Derek Ramirez, first driver in the mods into the 16-second bracket in that 4R?
Went and played 18 holes of golf today, guys, just like you'd expect for a normal race day for the 4R of Derek Ramirez. I am sad to report, though, he did give up Dr. Pepper over the offseason, so I wasn't sure if he'd still have it within him to be fast anymore, but certainly he's proven that he still is, even without the DP.
Trenton, you know better than anybody. I've been told you do not play him in any sport of any kind because he will beat you into the ground. Is that true?
Threw 2 no-hitters in high school as well. Had offers to go play in college, and he decided that he wanted to race. He was a really good high school basketball player as well. His team played in the late into the postseason when he was in Woodward, Oklahoma there in high school, and he was a guy, my gosh, guys, he's got a heck of an arm. He can throw a football a mile.
He's got a heavy right foot as well, so the next set of cars making their way out to the speedway, and you know the G17 at Gallardo comes out and he doesn't show up on the transponder. Who could be in that car? Who could it be?
Don't know. We'll call it Fito Gallardo.
That's right.
For now.
And the G17.
And if we're wrong, that was Ben Shelton that said that. He'll be followed out by Ricardo Alage Jr. in the 18JR, Las Cruces, New Mexico, out of Alamogordo, New Mexico. Shad Batter behind them, the Bate City, Missouri driver, the number 73 Ben, and they'll be followed out by a Wild West Shootout first-timer this week.
That's right, 6-time winner last year, Stephen Whitaker Jr. out of Corpus Christi, Texas, in that 89 car. He rolls through turn 3, that white and fluorescent orange car, the DNSS Construction Best Engine-powered CDR race car. Good to have Stephen Whitaker Jr. with us for the first time.
Odessa, Texas driver Philip Houston in the 71 behind him. He'll be followed out by the 88 of Chad Wheeler. Talked to Chad Wheeler back in the pit area a little earlier, and he said, of course, picked up a heat race win last night. And I said, what'd you learn last night? He said, I learned I need to be better. And I said, I thought she looked pretty good. He said, I need to be more aggressive. He said, these guys are really, really up on the wheel. And of course, he didn't run it all last year. He only ran a race or two the year before that. So he's still trying to shake a little bit of rust off of himself.
Well, not too bad last night. He won a heat race.
Absolutely.
The 8N of Nick Rivera, one win last year at Alien Motor Speedway for the Las Cruces, New Mexico driver. And behind him, the 4R car of Jared Russell out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, an 11-time winner last year, now a 3-time defending NASCAR Oklahoma State Modified champion in that 4R, rolling out of turn number 2.
Xavier Ortega, one of the many racing Ortegas with us here this weekend in the number 24, and he'll be followed out by the 70 out of Hutchinson, Kansas. That is Davis Givens. And that will do it for this wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds, presented by Rancho Milagro.
I say we're going to have one more set of mods after this, and then we're going to get ready for Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars to come out for their qualifying, their hot lap qualifying. And so far, it has been Derek Ramirez fastest time with a 16.891. We'll see if anybody can go faster this time. Nobody else even in a 16-second bracket, although Nick Rivera does go second on the board, a 17.1.
Yeah, good lap for Nick Rivera, the 2021 track champ here at Vado Speedway Park. Vito Gallardo now into the 16-second bracket with a 16.999. He's going to be second quick here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Again, if you're just tuning in on FloRacing, these drivers are simply getting some practice laps under their belts. They've drawn pills to determine their lineups for tonight's 5 qualifying heat races. The top 16 in passing points in these heat races will lock those drivers in, and then we'll have 2 B mains for them take the top 4 out of those 2 last chance races a little bit later on this evening. Still Derek Ramirez atop the leaderboard here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds, Ben, with one more wave of cars just now making their way out on the speedway.
Yeah, they're going to be led out by the 2SS car of Mark Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico, the Miller Horse Farm Mullins-powered MB Custom number 2SS. And behind him in the 4W, he comes to us out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Tyler Wolf, the Lobo Racing Army Contractors Elusive Competition Engine MB Customs entry for Tyler Wolf.
He'll be followed out by the Merced, California driver. That's DJ Shannon, the Jerry Shannon Racing number 32. Lakeshore, Minnesota's Dan Ebert, a podium finish last night for him in the 60. And, Ben, they're going to be followed out by the 2022 IMCA Boone Super Nationals champion.
That's right. 25 wins last year for TBJ. Not Tony Bruce Jr., Tom Berry Jr. in the 11X out of Des Moines, Iowa. The Team Harris Auto Racing Mullins-powered Brodell Trucking entry. We'll see what he can do tonight. Not too shabby last night. And behind him, I think that's going to be the
Tom,
good doctor.
yes,
that's going to be Tom
doctor.
George's, the George's Racing Engine AOS race car, sponsored by George's Chiropractic and Wellness Center. So last year, our fearless leader, Chris Kearns, gets here and he tweaks his back, picking something up. And we were hoping we weren't going to see him the rest of the week and he's going to be stuck in the camper. No, Tom George's fixes him and we have to see him the rest of the week. So,
that's awful.
Kearns was thankful for him. The rest of us said, well, the jury's out. It's a split decision. So, no, I tell you what, Tom does a great job. We're glad to have him out here racing with us.
Actually, might go see Tom here tomorrow myself.
Get an adjustment.
To be honest, yeah, exactly. Jake Gallardo at the end of the back straightaway in the J17, and one other driver on the racetrack. It's going to be the track owner, Royal Jones.
Never heard
Las
of him.
Cruces in the Mesilla Valley Transportation. Number 131 should be the last wave of hot laps for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds. Right at 50 cars for
50
the
on the
mods.
nose.
Yeah, my last check. So we'll have 5 heat races of 10 coming up just a little bit later on here this evening. Have you set your Dirt Draft fantasy lineup yet, Ben?
No, I was fixing audio earlier. I had to fix a toilet and
eat some of the brownies that the Albertsons
I did eat some of the Albertsons brownies.
They're so delicious.
I had dessert before I had dinner. I'm going to eat the tacos after the brownies, and I'm not sorry.
Hey, you never know when your time's up. Eat dessert first.
That's right. All right, well, we're waiting on the C&D bonding green flag to fly. After this, we're going to shift gears into hot lap qualifying for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. And that will determine their heat race lineups. And after that, we'll do a little tickling on the track, if you will. Get her ready. I don't know how much they're going to have to do, DJ. They got this racetrack looking good here today, but they're going to go out and do a little bit of work after we hot lap qualify before opening ceremonies.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, yeah, track looks really good right now, but it is a little bit warmer today, 5 degrees, maybe 6 degrees warmer. More sun today for sure. There was a little bit of cloud cover up until about noon or 1 yesterday. Sun came out after that. We have, I don't know, I haven't seen a cloud in the sky since we woke up this morning.
Now, and yesterday, Old Glory in the infield stood at attention pretty much all day and night.
Yeah,
today, she's just chilling down there.
Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Hardly any wind here. I will say, between last year and this year, probably the best day we've had here in the desert over the course of the last year.
I was thinking it. I didn't want to say it, but you said it, so I will agree with you. I think you're right. Yes, sir. All right, well, let's see. Can anybody do anything instead? How about Mark Smith, the Anthony, New Mexico driver to the tie? You have killed your chapstick. The Anthony, New Mexico driver, the fastest lap, and Tom Berry Jr., second fastest. And last night's third place finisher, third fastest, and Dan Ebert, DJ Shannon. I think it's fair to say the racetrack picked up a little bit because your 4 fastest cars came in that last set as they will head back to the pit area. But Mark Smith, Anthony, New Mexico driver, fastest in dirt draft hot laps. We'll see if that transitions over to the heat races coming up a little bit later as we get ready now for Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars and the Sport Truck RV qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. We'll send 3 drivers at a time. They're divided into Group A and B. The fast time overall yesterday it was Bobby Pierce. We'll get $100. And don't forget, fast time overall for the week, you will get $1,000. The Rio Grande Waste Services Shock the Clock Challenge, best lap of the week, picks up $1,000.
And Pierce's time last night was what? 1:47?
11 maybe?
7:17? 7:18. 7:18. Got it.
On it.
There's also this really cool app that you could check out called My Race Pass.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Dylan McCowan will lead them out here for qualifying. At Urbana, Missouri, the Longhorn Scott Bailey powered Empire Energy, Pomeroy Services, Midwest Sheet Metal, McCowan Farms, car number 8, joined by the Jimmy Mars Racing, Debbie Enterprises, Vite Specialty Contracting, MB Customs Race Car with a Pro Power Racing engine. That's Dustin Sorensen. And the 86, the Silent Assassin, Kyle Beard out of Truman, Arkansas, the Gary Beard Trucking, Team 5 Enterprise, Rage Graphics, Clements powered Black Diamond for 3-time winner last year, Kyle Beard. All 3 of them are on the clock, DJ.
And the first lap about to go up on your our scoring monitors. Dylan McCowan with a 14.925, good lap. First lap time for Dustin Sorensen, better 14.826. We'll see if Kyle Beard is able to top them. He does, 14.791. Safe to say we may see a quick time tonight than we saw last night. Dylan McCowan, second lap better, 14.790. Second lap time for Dustin Sorensen. I don't know that Sorensen tripped the trigger on his second lap, and the second lap for Kyle Beard, I also did. Yeah, 14.680. Wow, that is quick time tonight. That is quick time that we've seen so far all week. Kyle Beard out of Truman, Arkansas, lays down the early time to beat. And I believe we're going to send Dustin Sorensen out to get his second lap.
All right, so Sorensen will get one more lap, and Kyle Beard, the time to beat, 2-time Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champion out of Truman, Arkansas. We'll see if Sorensen can one-up him. Sorensen right now third quickest, and he wants to see a better lap here. College student going to school for manufacturing engineering, just picked up the USMTS title last year, and now he's in Jimmy Mars' house car. Life's pretty good if your name is Dustin Sorensen.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that, as he's going to get the white flag right here and officially be on the qualifying clock. I talked to Jimmy back in the pit area a little bit. I said, what do you think about last night? He's like, well, you learn some things and just kind of go from there. And I don't know if maybe the transponder fell off that race car. I did not see that he picked up, that he clocked in on lap number 2 as well. 1-4, is that correct? 1-4-4-1-5. Wow. That would be fast time.
All right, we're going to check on that as we check on Sorensen down there, and we'll have the next 3 qualifiers coming out.
Hold that thought. That is very unofficial. We are checking on that right now. So we're going to hold that as we, I believe, will bring the next wave of cars out for qualifying.
That's right. As we check on that, your next qualifier will be Cole Wells out of Aurora, Missouri in the 7W, former Dirt Track Bank Cash Money Late Model Series champion back in 21. Glenn Powell, he's out of Missouri as well, out of Nixa, Missouri in car 26. And the 19 of Jeff Schildmeyer out of Las Vegas, Nevada in car 19. Cole Wells will be in the Modco Racing Engine, Swartz Race Car, Danny Miller Logging, Midwest Sheet Metal, Henry's Towing, Fry Farms, and Bass Livestock, all sponsors on that car. 5-time winner last year. Glenn Powell, car number 26. As we talked about his first time to join us here in the desert. Glad to have him here with us. He will come out, as will Jeff Schildmeyer. And the Odin Nessus clothing brand, EV Zone charging stations, Exquis CBD, Domination race car with a Mullins racing engine. As we said, Glenn Powell in this set as well. He'll be in the 26 car, the Powell Mechanical Highway 125 Marina Durham Powered Capital race car. DJ?
Yeah, just got official word from Race Control. That is, it's 14415. It registered on the back end. It's not showing for those folks watching at home it's on there, but it shows his that shows his Kyle Beard's lap instead of Dustin Sorensen's. They'll get that corrected on the back end. It is Dustin Sorensen's lap, 14415. That is quick time after 3 qualifiers. Second quick is going to be Kyle Beard at a 14680, and then Dylan McCown will be third quick at a 14790. So they're going to get that corrected again on the back end. As those of you watching at home live on FloRacing, you see that being actually updated there in the upper left-hand portion of your screen as well. Once again, 48 Dirt Track Bank late models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars signed in here this evening. It will be divided up into 4 heat races, just like last night. Those 4 heats will be 8 laps in distance, and the top 4 out of each heat race will transfer into tonight's late model feature.
All right, we got it all sorted out, my friends, as we get set to get things back underway. Sport Truck RV Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Time to beat 14.415 by Dustin Sorensen as Cole Wells makes his way out, Glenn Powell as well, and Jeff Schildmeyer in car 19.
So 3 drivers have qualified thus far. Cole Wells, by the way, Ben, last night, and Cole Wells picked up steam as the night went on. He is your defending Dirt Track Bank Cash Money Late Model Series champion. The 26 you see on the racetrack being in qualifying, being hotly followed by Jeff Schildmeyer. First lap time for Cole Wells, a 15003. First lap time for the 26 of Glenn Powell. Does not pick up. He does not have a transponder on that car, I believe. Jeff Schildmeyer, a 16391. Second lap time for Cole Wells. Fourth quick better, 14855.
I think Schildmeyer is going to get another lap or so here. He was impeding on both of those, and he's going to come down and ask about it. All right, so we'll give Schildmeyer. He'll get to come back out. As we're off to quite the tumultuous start to qualifying. My goodness, is it a full moon at, what, 4:07 in the afternoon? All right, so Schildmeyer will come back out. The Odin Nessus clothing brand number 19. I think I've called it 18 different things this weekend. Time to beat is Dustin Sorensen, 14.415. Well, all the letters are there. It's just all relative in the pronunciation. There's a lot going on.
We have been corrected on a couple pronunciations, and the ones that we were correcting, I don't know the driver is even here tonight. Right? Is that
Poppy?
I don't know that Jacob Poppy is here
Jacob Poppy
tonight.
did not hot lap.
No.
We're going to be ready when he is, though. We will be ready.
Bosque Farms.
That's right.
New Mexico. All right, Jeff Schildmeyer, his second lap time. 14965. It's a 14965, so that will put him fifth quick. 14965 is the second lap time for the 19 of Jeff Schildmeyer. And I believe we will roll out the next trio of drivers.
We are. We'll be ready for the next 3. It'll be Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas in car number 20. The 75 of Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri. And the 7 of Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba. As Rodney Sanders, former Wild West Shootout champion in the late model and the mod, the Mesilla Valley Transportation, Wichita Tank, Army Contractors, Dahlback Sales, Paulson Rock Products, Clements Powered MB Custom Chassis, 14 wins a year ago. 3 of those came in the late model ranks. He'll be joined by National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer TP, Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri, the Andy's Frozen Custard, Don Babb Motorsports, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integra Shocks and Springs, Kinney's Tile, VP Racing Fuels, Durham Powered Capital for TP, 5 wins a year ago. 1 of those in the late model. And Ricky Weiss in car number 7, former World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year, former Eldora Speedway track champion, the Sniper chassis with the Vic Hill Power Plant, the J&C Properties, G-Style Transport, Turk Enterprises, Collins Brothers Towing, car 7 for Ricky Weiss. He went to victory lane 5 times in 2022.
Kirk Laude checks in and says it is indeed a full moon tonight, and sent a picture of it there from back home as well. First lap time for Rodney Sanders, fourth quick, 1:4.805. Terry Phillips goes second quick, 1:4.615, and Ricky Weiss bumps him and goes second fastest with a 1:4.512. Second lap time for Rocket Rodney Sanders. He's better, third quick, 1:4.612. Terry Phillips is better on lap number 2. He stays second, 1:4.450. And Ricky Weiss to the top of the leaderboard. His second lap time was quick with a 1:4.358. Ricky Weiss now with the time to beat after 9 cars in Sport Truck RV Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze qualifying for the late models.
Coming up next, we'll have the 3J of Josh Kane out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, Tomas Hunziker out of Bend, Oregon in the 38, and the 91 of Rusty Schlenk out of McClure, Ohio. Josh Kane, he's in a black diamond race car, BMS Racing Engine under the hood, the Kane Dig Race Cars, Batteries Plus, Cooters Garage, Team MRDW, 3J, the Cooters Garage spun me out. The 91 car, that's Rusty Schlenk. He's in a Domination race car, Mullins Power under the hood, the Forbes Construction and Excavating, Capella Machine Electronics, and Blackwater Truss Systems, Velocita Mullins Power Domination chassis for Rusty Schlenk. 12 wins a year ago, and Tomas Hunziker in car number 38 out of Bend, Oregon, the Rocket XR1 Pro Power Racing Engine, Certainteed AM1 Roofing and Siding, SRS Distributing International 38. What are you laughing about over here, DJ?
I will show you. Josh Kane on his first lap, 9th quick, 1:5.595. Rusty Schlenk's first lap time now 9th quick at a 1:5.224, and the first lap time for Tomas Hunziker, 8th quick, 1:4.961. Josh Kane's second lap is better, 11th fastest, 1:5.224. Second lap time for Rusty Schlenk, better, 8th quick, 1:4.960. And the second lap time for Hot Sauce is a little better. He'll stay 8th fastest, 1:4.895. So after 12 drivers have qualified, it's Ricky Weiss atop the leaderboard with a 1:4.358.
The Hunzikers gave me enough chocolate today to give 5 people gout, so I've got enough Swiss chocolate to take back.
Luckily, you don't have it all. Oh, wait.
Yeah, so luckily I don't have gout. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. All right, your next 3 qualifiers will look like this. It'll be National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer Mr. Smooth, Billy Moyer in car 21. He'll be joined by the 13 of Greg Schildmeyer out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and last night's feature winner, Blairsville, Georgia's Jonathan Davenport, Superman in the 49. Billy Moyer in the Carl Chevrolet, Carl Auto Group, Sweet Manufacturing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Digital Copy Systems, Clements Powered Longhorn, 847 career wins for that driver. Greg Schildmeyer, first time we've seen him this week, and the Odin Esses clothing brand, EV Zone Charging Stations, Masters Built number 13, and Superman Jonathan Davenport. He's the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Fast Shaft, Steiner Gross Seed, Lucas Oil Products, ASC Warranty, Midwest Sheet Metal, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Bill Stein, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Superman Jonathan Davenport. He's going after $300,000 in a brand new Chevrolet pickup truck.
Billy Moyer's first lap time is 4th quick at a 1:4.525. Jonathan Davenport 3rd quick with a 1:4.435, and Schildmeyer just now getting across the line. Moyer's second lap not as good. He is going to be 5th fastest. Second lap time for Jonathan Davenport. Quick time, 1:4.236 for last night's winner, and that is the new time to beat. Jonathan Davenport picking up right where he left off in 2022.
Well, it looks like Billy Moyer might be lobbying for another lap. We'll see what race control decides as he closed in on Schildmeyer there on his second lap.
Yeah, I don't know that he will win that lobby.
Yep. And he'll pull to the infield. All right, up next, it'll be two-time and defending Wild West Shootout champion Mike Marlar in the 157, the 6 of Elk Grove, California's Kyle Larson, and the 38M of Justin Mills out of Pineville, Missouri. Larson, the first car out on the speedway. And the Longhorn Cornet Powered Flow Racing, HinderCars.com, Bill Stein, D&E Marine, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Hot Rod Septic Treatment, car number 6, joined on the speedway. The 38M of Mills, he's going to pull to the infield immediately. He will not get a time. Mike Marlar's the Delco Equipment Cells, Bill Stein, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Can-Am Auto Salvage, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Mikey Marlar and car 157.
So Marlar and Larson, the two drivers on the track now, as we lost the 38M of Mills already. Larson's first lap time was a good one, Ben. Second quick, 1:4.304. Mike Marlar and the hashtag Bluehorn comes across the line. His first lap time, seventh fastest, 1:4.568. Second lap time for KL. Quick time, 1:4.218. Kyle Larson. Now the time to beat. We'll see if Mikey Marlar has anything on lap number 2, and he does not. His second lap time is not as good. 1:4.914 is his second lap. Marlar will stay 7th. It's now Kyle Larson, Jonathan Davenport, and Ricky Weiss, your top 3 after 18 attempts to qualify.
All right, so Kyle Larson, the time to beat, 14.218. In car number 6, up next will be Jason Strand out of Portland, North Dakota, the E85, the 10-4, Brandon Brzezowski out of Lavernia, Texas, and the 24, Bill Layton Jr. out of La Vista, Nebraska. As the E85 will come out first, two-time winner last year's Jason Strand, the Klein Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, sponsored by North Dakota Corn Council, SRT Specialties, Hatton Co-op Oil, and Victory Diesel, along with Christian Cars Online. All sponsors of that E85. Brandon Brzezowski, first time to the desert. Out of San Antonio, Texas, the XR1 Rocket Chassis, Ape Racing Engine, Mobac Suspension Technology and Consulting, Billy Bob's Repair and Tire, and Schaefer Oil. 10-4 car, and the 24 looking for better luck tonight. He had bad luck in his debut in the desert last night. That's Bill Layton Jr. in the Mark Wright Racing, Wright's Feed Yard, Taylor Quick Pick Shell, Ziola Wealth Solutions, Collins Home Creations, Enduro's Dent Works, Clements Powered Rocket XR1 for Bill Layton Jr. 4 wins a year ago, but last night bad luck found him. We'll see what he can do on the clock here in Sport Truck RV qualifying, presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze.
After this, just 3 drivers left to qualify in Group A. Again, Kyle Larson has the time to beat at a 1:4.218. Jason Strand going to be the first driver to trip the trigger. He'll be 16th quick. Brandon Brzezowski now 16th quick, and Bill Layton Jr. 8th fastest, 1:4.579, the best lap time for Bill Layton. We'll see if Strand or Brzezowski, either one, are able to improve on lap number 2. Strand's second lap is not as good. Brzezowski's second lap is not as good, but Bill Layton Jr.'s second lap is better, 1:4.552. That's good enough for 7th quick, Ben, with 3 drivers left to qualify in Group A.
Up next will be Trenton Justin in the 89 out of Pineville, Missouri. He'll be joined on the speedway by Chris Simpson out of Oxford, Iowa, in car 32, and Garrett Albertson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, in car 58. Trenton Justin, the Bill Trainer Racing Engine, TNT Race Car, sponsored by AFAB Trucking and Excavating, the Greens Bar and Grill, and Team Bad Wrench, all sponsors on that 89 car. Chris Simpson in car 32, the C&J Trucking, Hoker Trucking, Randy Davidson Trucking. If you own a trucking company, you should sponsor Chris Simpson. Superior Cleaning Service, Iowa, Illinois Taylor Installation, and Hot Rod Septic Treatment, all sponsors on that Durham-powered Longhorn for Chris Simpson, a 4-time winner last year, and a local favorite, Garrett Albertson, storming onto the national scene over the past year or so. He's out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Nutrient Ag Solution, Fast Shafts, DoneRight.tv, Day Motorsports, Sunoco, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Lucas Oil, Powered Black Diamond, the Clements Power Plant under the hood for the Roberts Motorsports entry for Garrett Albertson.
Well, they're gunning for a 1:4.218. That's fast time set by Kyle Larson. 19th quick for Trenton Jessen, 1:6.581. Garrett Albertson, 3rd quick, 1:4.291. Good lap. Chris Simpson goes 12th fastest at a 1:4.753. Second lap time for Garrett Albertson might be impeded by the 89 of Trenton Jessen. It was not as quick. Simpson's second lap is better, 1:4.578. Trenton Jessen's second lap time was not as good. He will be 21st quick. And we will see if race control is going to award.
All right, so splits are up to them, as we were told. So that will be Garrett Albertson. Will stay with what he's got. So 14.218, Kyle Larson. That is the fast time in Group A here in Sport Truck RV qualifying, presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, as we get set now for Group B. It's also worth noting that, as you said, DJ, the fastest time of the week. So right now, Kyle Larson's got an extra $1,000 in his pocket from Rio Grande Waste Services for the Shock the Clock Challenge for the week.
As it stands right now.
As it stands right now. We saw last night, fast time came out of Group B.
I know, I was trying to give Mike Marlar money last night.
You had to go down there and take $100 away from Mike Marlar. It was the craziest thing I've ever. No, you didn't have to do that. All right.
You get it anyway.
Next 3 cars, they'll be in Group B. The first 3, I should say, that's Devin Smith out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the Black Diamond Pro Power Racing Engine, Dave Dietz Racing, Rio Grande Foot Clinic 01. 5-time winner a year ago was Devin Smith. 2 in the late model. model and 3 in the super truck. He'll be joined by Mobags Morgan Bagley. Coming to us out of Longview, Texas, the P&W Sales, High Ridge Services, Billy Bob's Repair and Tire, P&W Ironworks, Clements-powered Rocket XR1 for Morgan Bagley. 1 win a year ago for the former, how about this throwback, O'Reilly SUPR champion.
Oh, my.
The SUPR Tour out of
Yes, sure
Louisiana.
do. Yeah, the Super Tour, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Greg Holmes. Throwback.
Catman John Mitchell, a multi-time. John Mitchell, multi-time SUPR champ.
BJ Robinson, I think, got a couple of those.
Yes.
The third car on the set, in the track on this set, will be Eston Whistler out of Otis, Oregon. And the Whistler Construction, Otis Market and Fueling, all-purpose storage, Meredith Lodging, Knotworks Construction, Vic Hill-powered rocket chassis for Eston Whistler. As we get everybody in Group A back to the pit area on a beautiful afternoon here in Vado, New Mexico. Again, right between Las Cruces and El Paso. And man, I love the mountains in the background. I mean, just I'm a sucker. I'm from Tennessee, but I'm on the flat end of Tennessee. I'm on the west end, and man, I love going to see the mountains.
I like that, the flat end of Tennessee.
I'm
from the
look at that
rolling.
view. This is so what you see on your screen, race fans. That is pretty much what DJ and I are looking out in the press box all week.
It's right off the back straightaway, right. What if you call it behind, in front of the flag stand, behind the flag stand? Yeah, right off the back straightaway. Oh, look at this. We're going to pan back for us. That's awesome.
And you see I-10 right there, conveniently located, literally right off the interstate. You can't beat it. And we hope you can come join us next weekend. If you can't make it for Wednesday, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can fly into El Paso, catch 3 shows. And Trenton Berry will even let you stay with him, won't you, Trenton?
You bet. I was actually just thinking about that.
You were not, but that's nice you said that.
Guys, real quick, I want to send a shout-out to Sport Truck RV and Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze as well, who's sponsoring qualifying. Sport Truck RV, they're the nation's leader in the racing transportation market. You can check them out at sporttruckrv.com, or if you're here on the ground, stop down and check out their display as it's located in the pit area right next to the Whistler Investments Command Center. Stop down and check out the great folks at Sport Truck RV. Glad to have them on board again, as well as the great folks at Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze 13. That's actually coming up here, Ben, now in less than 1 month, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And that is headlined by the richest sport compact race in the world. $19,000 to win this year. My goodness, for the SCDRA Sport Compacts. We're also going to run modified 602 Bandits, Street Stocks, Cop Stocks, Road Warriors, and Ben's Grocery Getter as well. For more information, ScrevenMotorSpeedway.net. You can check them out on Facebook or follow them on Twitter as well. Again, Winter Freeze 13 coming up February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, as we have got the first 3 drivers on the track for Group B in the hot laps. We've wiped the slate clean and have reset the drivers in the second half of the field, and we'll see who's going to lay down the quickest qualifying lap here in Group B. As Ben mentioned, Morgan Bagley in the 14M, Eston Whistler in the 82, and Devin Smith in the Dave Dietz-owned 01. The first driver to come across the line and trip the trigger is going to be Mobags Morgan Bagley, 14946, Eston Whistler with a 14722, and Devin Smith with a 14941. So Whistler the quickest of the trio on lap number 1. We'll see if anybody's able to better themselves on lap number 2. Mobag's second lap is not as good, 1-4. Check that. His second lap is better, 1:46.94. That is quick time. Eston Whistler's second lap is the one that is not as good, and Devin Smith's second lap also not as good as well. So Morgan Bagley with the early time to beat here in Group B with a 1:46.94.
Up next will be Shreveport, Louisiana's Clayton Stuckey in the 15S, the 1ST of Johnny Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the 78S of Steve Stoltz out of Peoria, Arizona. Clay Stuckey in the Lucas Oil Provo steering buddy, Sunoco Race Fuels, Bill Stein, Advanced Powder Coating, Chick-fil-A, Clements powered Black Diamond, 1 win a year ago for that driver. The 1ST of Johnny Scott, 6 wins a year ago for the Las Cruces driver. The Longhorn Clements powered Rancho Milagro Racing with Sea Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms, Top of the World Ranch and Race Ranch, 1ST, and the 78S car of Steve Stoltz from Peoria, Arizona. The Klein Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, Dirt Pro Incorporated, Alpine Stars Mobile Medical Center, Rockwell Sunglasses, 78 for Steve Stoltz.
Clayton Stuckey will be the first driver to come across the line and log a qualifying lap. He goes to the top of the leaderboard in Group B with a 1.4621. Steve Stoltz's first lap, fifth quick, 1.5261. And Johnny Scott now to the top of the leaderboard with a 1.4493. That's the time to beat. Stuckey's second lap better. Second quick, 1.4596. Second lap time for Steve Stoltz. Better, 1.546 fastest. And Johnny Scott's second lap is even better, 1.4286. Johnny Scott at Las Cruces, now the time to beat in Group B.
Coming up next, it'll be Jake Tim out of Winona, Minnesota in the 49T, joined by Don Shaw out of Ham Lake, Minnesota in the 42 and the 14W of Polk, Missouri's Dustin Walker. Jake Tim in the Longhorn, OFI Performance, Herco, GorillaMill.com, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Orman's HVAC, River City Manufacturing and Machining, car 49T, 7 wins year ago, including 1 late model win, joined on a Speedway by Don Shaw in car 42. Shaw out of Ham Lake, Minnesota, the Vic Hill powered Longhorn, sponsored by Shaw Trucking, Blaine Brothers, Dane Oil, Loop Tech, Northern Metal Recycling, and Greeley Plumbing, all sponsors on that 42 car, along with Dustin Walker, the Polk, Missouri driver, and the Vic Hill powered Capital Race car, sponsored by Team Dirt Dog and Walker Motorsports, and a Rookie of the Year contender with the World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series in 2023.
He'll be the first driver to trip the trigger pin as he comes across the line. Dustin Walker's first lap time, fifth quick, 1.4762. First lap for Don Shaw, third fastest, 1.4657. And Jake Tim's first lap, fifth quick, 1.4721. Right now, nobody has anything for Johnny Scott's 1.4286. Second lap time for Dustin Walker's better, third quick, 1.4650. Good lap. Don Shaw's second lap also better, second quick, 1.4543. And the second lap time for Jake Tim is also better. He'll be fifth fastest at a 1.4676. It's Johnny Scott, Don Shaw, Clayton Stuckey, your top three after 9 drivers in Group B.
Up next will be Kent Roseveare out of Yuma, Arizona in the 02, the 15 of Justin Duty out of Milano, Oregon, and the 28W of Jim Whistler out of Otis, Oregon. Kent Roseveare in the custom-powered Longhorn race car, ProTech Fleet Services, Jack Meta Racing, Gordy Speed Center, Wells & Son Motorsports Performance Potties and Parts, all sponsors in that 02, the 15 of Justin Duty out of Milano, Oregon, the Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn Chassis, sponsored by Don Frank Fords, First Class Septic, Darren and Mardell Williams, Jeff Stewart Trucking, and Roberts B Company, and the 28W on the Speedway as well. That'll be Jimmy Whistler, the Whistler Construction All-Purpose Storage, Otis Market and Fueling, RK Concrete Construction, Vic Hill powered Rocket XR1 for Jimmy Whistler.
First lap time for Kent Roseveare, 8th quick with a 1.4775. Justin Duty's first lap, 9th quick, 1.4838. And the first lap time for Jim Whistler is 12th fastest, 1.5598. Second lap time for Yuma, Arizona's Kent Roseveare is not as good, 1.4783. He'll be 8th quick. Justin Duty's second lap, a little better, but he stays 9th, 1.4775. And Jimmy Whistler's second lap time is a little better. He's 12th fastest, 1.5444. Still Johnny Scott, Don Shaw, Clayton Stuckey, your top three.
Up next, it'll be Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and Car 2S. He'll be joined by Tad Pospischel out of Norfolk, Nebraska, in the 04 and the 32 of Bobby Pierce, last night's fast qualifier out of Oakwood, Illinois. Stormy Scott and the Jason Durham Wrench, Rancho Milagro Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms, Top of the World Ranch, Clemens powered Longhorn number 2, joined on the Speedway by the 04 of Tad Pospischel out of Norfolk, Nebraska, the Longhorn Scott Bailey powered Window World, Signer Trucking, C-High Associate Certified Public Accounting, Dietz Well and Pump, and Dirt Track Bank 04, the 2021 and 3-time Malvern Bank Series champion overall. And the other car on the Speedway in this set, that'll be Bobby Pierce, the Rio Grande Waste Services, Senior Life Insurance Company, Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Vermilion County Bobcats, Toyota Danville, Algar Incorporated, Vic Hill powered Longhorn for Bobby Pierce.
5th quick for Stormy Scott on lap 1, 8th quick for Tad Pospischel on lap 1, 1.4703 for Pospischel. It's a 1.4651 for Stormy Scott. Bobby Pierce goes second quick with a 1.4496 second lap time for Stormy Scott. Better third quick, 1.4531. Pospischel goes third quick now. He's better on lap 2 with a 1.4530. And the second lap time for Bobby Pierce is better. Pierce is second quick, 1.4416. Johnny Scott, Bobby Pierce, Tad Pospischel, Stormy Scott, Don Shaw, right now your top 5 after 15 qualifiers in Group B.
Up next is Dallas Caldwell in the 51C out of Tucson, Arizona. Arizona. The Terry Carter out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. And the 16, the 29 of Mercedes Abercrombie out of Deming, New Mexico. Dallas Caldwell in the environmental management. EFX Apparel, Klein Racing Engine, Swords race car number 51. And it'll be Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta's Terry Carter in the Black Diamond Clements powered entry. The Hollywood Graphics Good Guys, Fort Signs and Promos at number 60 on the 29 of Mercedes Abercrombie out of Deming, New Mexico. And the Bob Arenas Pizza and Race Engine, Abercrombie Motorsports, Rick's Performance, Longhorn 29. Oh, little beating and banging. You don't see beating and banging in qualifying too often.
No doubt. Terry Carter works by Dallas Caldwell. Carter 16th quick. Caldwell 17th quick. Now Mercedes Abercrombie goes 16th quick. We'll see if any of these drivers will improve on lap number 2. You have to imagine that Terry Carter does, but he pushes way up the racetrack coming off turn number 4. And his second lap time will be a little better, but he's 17th quick. 157.05, 17119 for Caldwell. Mercedes Abercrombie, the best of that trio, she's going to be 15th quick, 15365. The time to beat in Group B is still Johnny Scott, 14.286 after 18 qualifiers. Bobby Pierce is second fastest right now at 14416, and Tad Pospischel is third quick, 14530. Next trio of drivers about to make their way out. 6 drivers left to qualify, scheduled to be the 1T out of New Waverly, Texas, Tyler Erb. Russellville, Kentucky's John Kirby in the 11, and New Berlin, Illinois' Brandon Shepard in the B5. So again, it's going to be those 3 drivers making their way out on the track. They'll be led out by the driver that picked up the win in the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals at the Dome at America Center back in December 1 month ago. Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas. In the bulkmateriallift.com, First Class Septic, Anthony's Pizza, Roberts Beef Company, Lucas Oil, Basil Race Fuels, Go Lithium Batteries, sponsored Rocket XR1. He'll be followed out, Ben, by the driver of the number 11. That'll be John Kirby out of Russellville, Arkansas.
That's right. I want to give a shout out. Travis Tipton, one of our mod competitors.
Oh, yeah.
He spotted debris down in turn 1, came up to the tower and told us, thank you, Travis. We appreciate you, sir. Tyler Erb, again, will be making his way out as you ran through all the sponsors of Turbo. We'll see what he can do here tonight. John Kirby in car 11, the Construction Resources Group, Kirby Specialties, Eagle Lake Farms, Clements-powered Rocket XR1 for the Russellville, Arkansas driver. In the B5, Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois, the Longhorn Durham Ford Mustang-powered Shepard Riggs Racing, True Timber Camo, Budweiser Dennis G. Woodworth Attorney at Law, 34 Raceway, Wild Gear, Integra Shocks and Springs, Valvoline. B5 for Brandon Shepard. 14 wins a year ago. He was the Castro FloRacing Night in America champion. He was second last night. DJ, what can he do tonight?
Yeah, good run from 7th up to 2nd last night for Brandon Shepard. We'll see if he's got anything for him. Turbo came to life at one point last night. His first lap time, not good. He is 17th quick. John Kirby 19th quick on lap 1. Brandon Shepard 8th fastest, 14672. We'll see if Turbo's able to improve on lap number 2. He does, but he's 14th, 14908. He's not going to like that qualifying lap. John Kirby's second lap not as good. He's 20th, and Brandon Shepard's second lap is better, 14498. That is good enough for third fastest. So it's Johnny Scott, Bobby Pierce, Brandon Shepard right now, your top 3 in Group B, with 3 drivers left to qualify.
Final 3 qualifiers will be Cade Dillard out of Roebling, Louisiana in the 97, the 14S of Colin Weinbarger out of Corbett, Oregon, and the USA 1 of Chris Hawkins out of Neosho, Missouri. Cade Dillard, the Black Diamond Race Car, Clements Power Plant under the hood of S&S Fishing and Rentals, Crone Farms, Joel's Auto Sales, Strength Roofing and Siding, Johnsonville Company, Nichols Stores, number 97, 12 wins a year ago for that driver. The 14S of Colin Weinbarger, 4 wins last year for the Oregon racer and the Grays Automotive Racing Engine, Longhorn, sponsored by Schramm Brothers Excavating, Checkered Flag Asphalt, and Reed Automotive. And your final qualifier on the speedway, the USA 1 car of Chris Hawkins, a 4-time winner last year in the Double Down Asphalt Service, Pro Loop Tire and Auto Service, I-49 Towing, Capital Chassis with the Mullins LS Power Plant.
Colin Weinbarger 10th quick on lap 1, 14692. First lap time for Chris Hawkins is 17th quick, 15023. And Cade Dillard, good run last night. His first lap is 7th best, 14594. Second and final lap time for Colin Weinbarger, a little better, but it'll be 11th quick, 14679. Second lap time for Chris Hawkins, a little better. He jumps up one spot to 13th quick, 1:47.20. And Cade Dillard's second lap, also a little better. He bumps up one spot to 6th quick, 1:45.41. And Ben, that'll conclude Sport Truck RV Winter Freeze qualifying here for the Dirt Track Bank Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Your quick qualifier in Group B with a lap of 1:42.86. It'll be Johnny Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 1ST. Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce, second fastest with a 1:44.16. Third quick, Brendan Shepard with a 1:44.98. And yeah, what a great shot right there. What a good looking shot. The Kyler's providing us of your quick qualifier, Johnny Scott. Tad Pospischel was fourth quick, Stormy Scott fifth, Cade Dillard sixth. Your overall quick qualifier, though, Ben, came out of Group A, and he is the quick qualifier so far this week with a 1:42.18. It's going to be Elk Grove, California's Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson with a fast time here at Sport Truck RV qualifying, presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Well, I tell you what, DJ, have you got your Wild West Shootout apparel yet?
No, you asked me that earlier. I didn't.
Still not done it.
Have you seen me leave? Did you see me leave the booth?
No, you're watching your fence
thank
play
you.
football. Well, there you see. Head down there and check it out. You can kind of see on the Jumbotron, a little bit of glare over there, but visit down there on Vendor Row. You can pick up the T-shirt, the official event merchandise.